So welcome to my YouTube channel. That's what we call The Good Life. Today I'm going to take a little wander around my home garden to show you how things are doing. Now, as most of you know, we're in a temporary home at the moment, so I've just got lots of pots, but we're going to be moving to our new home soon where things are going to get a lot more exciting. So even though I haven't got lots of space, I'm still managing to get some crops of lovely vegetables and fruit. So to get it going, I've got some courgettes over here, which I've had a few courgettes off already. I should have really pulled this off a little bit sooner. The challenge with growing something in a pot is they do struggle to grow a little bit more. I should really take them off smaller so I get lots of smaller fruits, but I've got a couple of decent sized ones there. I think the leaves look a little bit pale, so tomorrow I'm going to be giving them a little bit of multi-purpose feed. I've got a feed that I use quite a lot, and I will put a link up on the screen and one in the description. It's basically a multi-purpose feed, and I use it for lots of things, and I find it really useful. So I will be giving them a feed tomorrow, but as you can see, I've got lots of different, lots of little courgettes coming on there. They just need to be watered a lot more regularly than they would be in the ground. If I'm honest, where it's so hot here in Hereford, I'm watering them, you know, twice a day quite often at the moment, which is quite a lot. I wouldn't be doing that if I was on an allotment. On an allotment, it'd be every 2 to 3 days when it's really hot, and once a week when it's not so hot. On here, I've got, these are my Roma, my sweet peppers. Now, there aren't any ready to pick yet, but I've got lots and lots and lots of little peppers forming and lots of bloom. On here, the same thing. These are my, I've got a mixture of peppers, chili peppers here. So I've got lots and lots of little peppers forming, but in particular I've had one rogue one that's not only grown, but it's also started to go red, so I'm going to let that go a little bit more red before I take it off. But I have got lots and lots of bloom and lots of little peppers growing, so that's really positive. So I've got some herbs over here. That's my dill. I've got some parsley, some chives, some basil, some summer savoury. That was coriander, which has gone over, and there's something else growing there as well. My tomatoes are not quite as good, but I have got lots of tomatoes forming, which is good, and I've got a couple of ripe ones over here. So that's really good, and I've had a few already, which is really positive. Something I haven't done yet is, once I've got completed trusses of fruit, I do remove the leaves below it. So if you've got a completed truss of fruit, you can remove the lower leaves. So say, for example, here I've got lovely trusses of fruit there. Anything below, I can remove the leaves, which, so that one can come off and that one can come off. So I don't remove all the leaves, I just remove the leaves up to the completed trusses like there. I can take those ones off, and what it does, it concentrates the fruits on ripening. It also prevents disease by putting more air around it, and I generally find things ripen a little bit quicker. So I have been getting a few tomatoes, but not quite as much as I would like, but I've got lots forming, so I'm really optimistic I'm going to get a really good crop by the end of the season. Something I would say about tomatoes, when you're growing them outdoors, they can take a little longer to mature. I haven't got a greenhouse here. If I had a greenhouse, I'd have a lot more tomatoes maturing a lot quicker. So when you're growing them outside, it's easy to get disappointed and think you're not going to get too many. At the end of the day, you only need enough tomatoes for yourself, and if you have extra and you're giving them away, then that's an added bonus. So there is still plenty of time until the frost hits. In about October time, you've got loads more months left for this to grow and to produce beautiful tomatoes. My aubergines are doing really well. I've already had some. I've grown an unusual variety. It's a white aubergine, and they do just grow like little fingers. So rather than getting great big aubergines, you get lots of these little tiny fingers. Now, I've already had a few off, and they do get a little bit bigger than that, but I would literally say like the size of your finger. So not terribly big, but again, really positive. Really good for pots because I don't have to get too big. So I've got lots and lots of bloom and lots of little white aubergines, so I'm really excited about that. There we are. Look, that one is probably, I could take that one off now, so that's a really good size. In fact, I probably will do. Let's have that one. So really handy to take things like that off with secateurs, because you could easily rip the plant up and damage it. So I've got some spinach that's coming along. This one's a little bit slow, I've not long planted it, but that's started to come along. That's the Bright Lights Chard. So a lovely thing to grow, and really versatile. Those are actually some flowers. I've got some plants that I rescued that have been given away because they died. So I've got a dahlia there, I've got a geranium, and I've got some gyps filler. I don't pronounce that very well, but it's a thing you put in flower arrangements. That one's coming back really well, whether or not the others will or not, but hey, you've got to give it a go, haven't you? So these are my apple trees that I've grafted, and they're looking good and healthy. Obviously aren't going to produce anything at the moment, so we do have to keep an eye on those. Like with all the things in pots, you really have to keep an eye on it and make sure none of it dries out. So I've got my statice flowers there, which I've been cutting. So I've had some cut flowers in the house, a really easy thing to grow. I've grown for quite a few years, and I've also got my kale under here. It's like a purple kale. I actually picked some of this earlier because I wanted it with my dinner. So this is covered because it's so easy for the butterflies to put, you know, lay their eggs on it, and you'll get caterpillars for the birds to attack it. There's a lot of predators with kale, so it's really mindful to put a little bit of Enviromesh over it. I use Enviromesh quite a lot. It's really sturdy and strong. If you would like some for your kale or some of your other plants, I will put a link up on the screen and one in the description. But it is a really, really good way of keeping lots of predators away from your brassicas, especially, because trying to keep the white cabbage butterfly with netting that isn't very fine is just impossible. So this really fine meshing is absolutely perfect. My blueberries have been a complete success. Bearing in mind these were dug up from my allotment in Kent. I've had loads of blueberries off these already. Again, they're in pots, so you do need to keep them well watered. I've got lots and lots of lovely blueberries there. I have got a pot somewhere, so when I finish this video I will pick some more of these, but I'm really chuffed with the blueberries because it was really hit and miss as to whether these were going to be okay or not. So as we move over, I've got a little bit of rhubarb here. I've had a few stems of it, but as you can see, it's not doing brilliantly. It does really need to go into the ground. So one of the first things I'll be doing once I've moved is sinking that into the ground. But there are some decent thick stems on there. So I will probably have a few, but I might have to mix it with something else. I've also got some herbs over here that are doing quite well. I've got some mint, which there was more mint there about 2 days ago, but I've used quite a lot of it. I've got some thyme, I've got some rosemary that I've started off, and some sage, and I've also got some oregano there, which is mixed in with a bit of weed, so I do need to sort that out. Now I do hope you've enjoyed my tour of the garden. If you're wondering what you can plant in August, I will put a link up on the screen and one in the description.